Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today we're going to start the Saga series of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so I asked for you guys' feedback. I got lots of different responses, kind of all over the place. So this is what I decided to do. I'm going to do the Saga, starting with the Hobbit, and then move through the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I'm going to do that with a different deck than the one that I'm doing all the regular deluxe expansions. I'm doing this because I kind of wanted something thematic, so this time you're going to see I've built a dwarf deck since we're going to have dwarves going with Bilbo. I think it makes sense, and it's kind of fun for me because I get to play a different deck. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back and forth, so I'll record one from the Hobbit, then I'll jump over and do one from Khazad-dûm with my Treebeard deck, and then I'll keep going back and forth because I can have both decks built, and I have no problem with that jumping back and forth. I'm not learning new rules for games, but then I can still enjoy some of the story for the Hobbit, but then we can also enjoy moving through the deluxe expansions, and we'll go through Khazad-dûm next. Let's start the story. Our first one of the Hobbit series is We Must Away Ere Break of Day. Bilbo Baggins, a well-to-do hobbit, was enjoying a peaceful morning in the quiet land of the Shire when the wizard Gandalf invited him to join an adventure with Thorin Oakenshield and his company of dwarves. After hosting an unexpected party and hearing their tales, Bilbo found himself trading the comfort of his hobbit hole for the chance to join their quest to the Lonely Mountain. But long miles lay before the mountain, and the company ran into trouble sooner than expected when they encountered 3 hungry trolls in the wild. The wizard Gandalf has chosen Bilbo Baggins to join Thorin and company on their quest to the Lonely Mountain. At first, they had passed through Hobbitlands, a wild yet respectable country inhabited by decent folk with good roads, an inn or two, and now and then a dwarf or a farmer ambling by on business. Then they came to lands where people spoke strangely and sang songs Bilbo had never heard before. So you can see here, to get through this first quest card, we're going to need 7 progress. Now there's some setup rules here. We need to remove and shuffle the 7 sack cards and into a sack deck and set it aside. Already did that. Remove the 3 trolls. Yeah, if you know the story at all, you've got Tom, Bert, and William. Those are our 3 trolls. I will let you see them as we go through the playthrough. They're going to be fun. We'll also have to remove the troll cave from the encounter deck and set it aside as well. Then we'll shuffle the encounter deck and each player will reveal 1 card from the top of the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. I just wanted to back up and show you guys this is one of the mats that you can get at Fantasy Flight, and I love it. And look at that. It's the Hobbit right here. Gandalf. There is Bilbo. It's probably Thorin right there. I love how long their beards are. Oh, it's awesome. Okay, let's reveal the top card. We have, when revealed, discard all Bilbo resources. Well, that's amazing. That's just going to go to the discard pile. We don't have any anyways. Of course, I'm realizing I haven't even talked to you about Bilbo resources, so we'll get there in a second. Let's go ahead and look at our heroes, and then you'll see Bilbo. Here we have our 3 heroes, Nori, Dane, and Thorin, and then we have Bilbo, who will go and travel with us through the entire journey. So he's like a 4th hero. He doesn't add any additional threat, so we don't have to put him into our threat meter, and he will generate his own resource. It's called like the Bilbo resource. It will be this yellow little pipe symbol. We'll use the same resource tokens on him, but there is a card that we can put into our deck. This one's called Burglar Baggins, because if you remember from the story, they are calling him a burglar. That's the reason they needed him, because they needed him to steal the Arkenstone from Smaug. Little did he know. And so you can put this card into your deck. It doesn't count as one of your 50 cards, so I am going to put it in there for fun. If we get it, we can use it. Currently, Bilbo has no special abilities, but there will be certain cards that he can interact with from the encounter deck. Also, he just lost all of his resources from that specific card that we just drew, but we haven't gained any yet anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we have Nori over here. He has 2 willpower, 1 attack, and 2 shield. He only has 4 health. His response is, after you play a dwarf ally from your hand, reduce your threat by 1. So awesome way to reduce our threat, because I don't have any other way that I'm going to reduce threat in this game. The only way is through Nori. So I'm hoping to play lots of dwarves from my hand. Dane is probably the most powerful character here. He's got only 1 willpower, 2 attack, 3 shield, 5 health. But while Dane is ready, dwarf characters get +1 attack and +1 willpower. So now Nori is actually a 3 willpower, 2 attack. And Dane, except for when you use him, he won't get the benefit. But while he's sitting here, he's got 2 willpower, 3 attack, which is awesome. And then Thorin over here. Thorin is a 3 willpower, 3 attack, 1 armor. But that's a 4/4 right now with Dane, which is insane. His ability is if you control at least 5 dwarf characters, add 1 additional resource to his pool when you collect resources during the resource phase. So if I can get 5 dwarves out total, I already have 3, so just 2 more, he will generate 2 leadership resources each round. The only catch is right now I start at 32 threat. A little higher. I mean, if you think of my other deck, it's at 27. So it's an additional 5 threat. But every time I play a dwarf, I can reduce my threats. I'm hoping with Nori, I'll be able to mitigate that. To start the game, let's go ahead and draw our 6 cards. So we have Arid Loon Miner. Ugh, I don't want that in my hand. Unexpected Courage. That's nice. Lure of Moria. Keeley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A Gandalf. And the Miner of the Iron Hills. Yeah, looking at this, definitely going to reshuffle. I can't even put him out. I'm not going to be able to put out Keeley for a little bit. Definitely, let's just mulligan. Here's take 2. Now, I've got to be honest and say that I have not played this deck yet. So we'll see how it goes. Ooh, Hardy Leadership. That is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got another one in my hand. 6. Oh, King Under the Mountain. That's also great. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start the game by generating 4 resources. 1 is going to go on Bilbo, okay? So we'll have 2 leadership, 1 spirit, and 1 Bilbo resource. And we'll go ahead and draw another card. And we have Hidden Cache, which also I don't want in my hand. Okay, so I think to start this round, we're going to go ahead and put King Under the Mountain. And you know we have to put that on Thorin. So we'll spend 1 of Dane and 1 of Thorin's resources, so since they are both leadership. And we'll put King Under the Mountain out. Now, King Under the Mountain, you have to attach to a dwarf hero. You can exhaust this to draw 2 cards, and you don't draw, because this is important. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the other. That's because I have cards in my deck that if I discard them from the top of my deck, they will actually come out into play. So I'm going to go ahead and use that right away. Bring our deck back over. We'll reveal the top 2. I get to choose 1 and discard the other. With both of these, I think I'm going to grab the Sneak Attack and discard the We Are Not Idle. The Sneak Attack is going to allow us to put an ally into play just for 1 phase, and then they go back into our hand. It's great when you have Gandalf in your hand. This We Are Not Idle, we can exhaust doors and gain resources. But right now, I don't really want to do that. We'll now move to questing, and what I think I'm going to do is just quest with Nori for a total of 3 willpower, thanks to Dane, and Bilbo. So I'm questing for a total of 4, and there's nothing in the staging area. We'll go ahead and flip this top card, and we have Doomed 1. Okay, immediately that happens. We go up to 33. When revealed, each player must choose 1. Increase your threat by 4 or reveal an additional encounter card from the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. I don't want to increase my threat by 4. So let's go ahead and just reveal another one. We have lots or none at all. When revealed, if there is a troll enemy in the staging area, sack 1. If there are no troll enemies in the staging area, this gains Doomed 2. Well, geez Louise. Just knowing what's coming, I think I am going to do a test of will and cancel the when revealed effect here. I don't want to increase my Doom by 2. Okay, so that means we still have nothing in the staging area. So we just put 4 out of the 7 progress on this quest card, which actually I don't really want. I need to find something before I get to the next location, next quest card. You'll see why when it shows up, but I'm going to try and not quest too much next time. Since there's no enemies in play, we'll just go ahead and end the round. We'll move up to 34. We will unexhaust these 2, generate 4 more resources, which is kind of nice. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll go ahead and draw the top card of our deck, and we have a Gandalf. Awesome. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we are going to exhaust King Under the Mountain. That allows us to reveal the top 2 cards of our deck, discard 1 and keep the other. Oh, nice. Okay, this is a Hidden Cache. If you read this card, after Hidden Cache is discarded from your deck, add 2 resources to the resource pool of a hero you control. Definitely going to choose this one because I am choosing to discard it from the top of my deck. I'll put the Miner of the Iron Hills into my hand. I'm going to generate, I think, 2 more leadership resources. So let's go ahead and put them on Thorin. Great. Next, I think we're going to play Hardy Leadership. We have to spend 2 leadership resources, attach it to a leadership hero. So we're going to put that on, let's put that on Thorin too. Each dwarf character gets +1 hit points. Each dwarf character. So now all of our dwarves in our deck will have +1 health. And then we're going to use the remaining 3 resources that we have to go ahead and put Arid Loon Miner out. Now, his ability is when you discard him from the top of your deck, put it into play under your control. So I don't really want to draw him. I want to discard him so that then he comes out for free. But I have him in my hand. I really want another ally so we can put ourselves down to 33 for threat, thanks to Nori. And now he is a 2/2/1 with 3 health. Moving to questing now, I think I'm only going to quest with Arid Loon Miner for 2, thanks to Dane. He gets +1 willpower. I'm doing that because I really don't want to move to the next stage. I need to find something in the encounter deck first. We'll go ahead and flip this, and we have the Troll Purse. If the Troll Purse is discarded, add to the staging area. If Troll Purse is unattached, add to the staging area and add it to a troll enemy if able. There aren't any, so we'll go ahead and just throw this out in the staging area. That does not have a surge or anything, so that's all we draw. So we just placed 2 more progress. I don't want to go this fast. We are almost done with the unexpected party. I want the party to last longer. Since there's no enemies and no locations in the staging area, we'll just jump to the next round, move back to 34 threat, refresh here. Then we will start the next round. We'll generate 1, 2, 3. I just need 1 more dwarf out, and then Thorin will start generating even more resources. 4. Perfect. And then we'll draw the top card of our deck, and another Gandalf. We have 2 Gandalfs in our hand. Let's start the round with King Under the Mountain. So we will draw the top 2 cards, or we will reveal the top 2 cards, keep 1 and discard the other. Ooh, Dunedain Remedy would let us heal. Right now, I'm not really that worried about that. Keely, if we got Keely into our hand, we can bring Feely out. So I kind of like Keely. I think I'm going to put Keely in my hand and discard Dunedain Remedy. Now I'm going to have a little fun here, you guys. I'm going to play Sneak Attack. It costs me 1 of Dane's resources to do so. Put 1 ally card into play from your hand. At the end of the phase, if that ally is still in play, return it to your hand. So I'm going to play Gandalf. Now, this has been confirmed. When you play Sneak Attack with Gandalf, you get his response effect, which is awesome. Because if you look at this, after Gandalf enters play, choose 1. Draw 3 cards, deal 4 damage to 1 enemy in play, or reduce your threat by 5. Yeah, I'm going to do the reduce my threat by 5, so I'm down to 29. Because my threat is way too high. And unfortunately, though, it's only for this phase that he's going to be out, so I'm in the planning phase, and then he's going to go back into my hand. Normally, though, he'd get discarded. So then, if he's back in my hand, I can then summon him again, or pay for his cost, or have another sneak attack, and have that response go over and over again, which is totally awesome. However, I'm not going to use him just for his response. I'm also going to have a little fun here. A very good tale. Exhaust 2 allies you control. So I have these 2 allies, Gandalf and Arid Loon Miner. Okay. And then what I have to do is shuffle my deck and discard the top 5 cards. Put up to 2 allies discarded by this effect into play under your control. The total cost of allies put into play cannot exceed the cost of the allies that you use to pay for this. Well, I have a total of 5 plus 3, 8 cost here. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my deck. Make sure it's all shuffled up like so. And then I'm going to discard the top 5 cards. 1. 2. Oh, okay. Now, here's the thing. Arid Loon Miner, I can say, is just being discarded. And because he's being discarded from my deck, he'll automatically come out. And he doesn't even count for the 5 plus 3, the total of 8 that we have available to us. Okay, so that was 2 cards. Here's 3. Bummer. Here's 4. Bummer. That's my other way of healing. And here's 5. Okay, so we only got one more ally out for that, but, it's another one. Now Thorin will be able to generate 2 resources around. So I'm going to go ahead and end the planning phase, and that means Gandalf will have to come back into my hand. And I think for questing, I'm simply going to use Heirloom Miner here for another 2 quest power. We'll reveal the top card of the encounter deck, and we have Lone Lands. After placing one or more progress tokens on lone lands, each player removes 1 resource from his or her hero's pools if able. Each player removes 1 resource from one of his heroes. Okay, only 1. After this leaves play as an explored location, Bilbo gains a resource. Cool. And it's 2 threat. Perfect. I didn't want to go anymore. I didn't want to go to the next stage yet. So 2 to R2, we don't increase or decrease our threat. We'll go ahead and end the round. We'll increase our threat to 30. We'll refresh. And then we'll go ahead and generate resources. Thorin gets 2 because we now have 5 dwarves out. And Bilbo is racking up the resources, which is awesome. Finally, we will draw a card, and we have the Lure of Moria. Let's continue to use our King Under the Mountain. Reveal the top 2 cards. Oh, Narvi's Belt or Will of the West. I think, yes, I already have a Will of the West in my hand, so definitely going to discard this. Narvi's Belt is going to allow Thorin, or whoever I put it on, which I'm going to put it on Thorin, we can exhaust this belt, and he can have any type of resource that we would like for that phase. So I could say he has lore, or tactics, or spirit, just so that it makes it easier to play other cards from my hand. And I don't know if you noticed, I had, or have, the Miner of the Iron Hills in my hand. Well, he's green. I don't have any green heroes. Well, now I do have a green resource if I'd like to put them out. So I think that's not a question we're going to put that out. Oh, but if we put that out, you know what? This is great, but I don't need it now. I think instead I am going to have some fun and bring out Fili. I'll use all of Thorin's resources for this. So that's all 3 here. If you bring Fili from your hand during the planning phase, search your deck for Kili and put them into play under your control. See, Fili and Kili, they go together. I love it. And you know what? I was going to draw Kili next. But look at this. They're going to have 3 health. They're each going to have 2 attack and 2 willpower. Yeah, I'm building up my dwarf army. Oh, and don't forget, I played a dwarf from my hand. We're back down to 29. The other thing is, I totally forgot to tell you guys I wanted to travel to the Lone Lands. I think that makes total sense that we'd want to. We'd get the threat out of the staging area, and we just need 3 progress to get through here. With that, I think I'm going to go ahead and exhaust both Heirloom Miners, so I have a total of 4 willpower to nothing in the staging area. And we'll reveal Doomed 1. Reveal. Place the top X cards of the encounter discard pile on the bottom of the encounter deck. X is equal to twice the number of players in the game. That's honestly not terrible, other than the fact that we are going to push to the next quest card, and you're going to see why I didn't want to do that. So we'll move up to 30 threat. This is going to go in the discard pile. This card is going to go to the bottom of the encounter deck. And now we have a total of 4 willpower. This location only needs 3, which is just wonderful because I went with 4. So 3 will complete this. After placing 1 or more progress tokens on Lone Lands, each player removes 1 resource from one of his heroes. So I'll remove it from Bilbo, because then after it leaves play as an explored location, Bilbo gains a resource. So, didn't do anything anyways. But 1 more, because that was 3 plus 1 is 4. We just completed the unexpected party. Shoot! Obviously, trolls. Even Bilbo, in spite of his sheltered life, could see that. From the great heavy faces of them, and their size, and their shape of their legs, not to mention their language, which was not drawing room fashion at all. When revealed, add the set-aside troll enemies and the troll cave to the staging area, and shuffle the encounter deck, and discard pile back into the encounter deck. Forced, if there are no troll enemies left in play, or if there are no cards left in the encounter deck, advance to the next stage. Anytime players would place progress tokens on the quest, discard an equal number of cards from the encounter deck instead. So this is so awesome, because think of the actual story. So in the story, they have to, or Bilbo and all the dwarves that could talk, are trying to convince the trolls not to eat them, right? So they're confusing them and making them talk and waste time until the sun comes out. So one of the ways that you can actually win this is pushing through the entire encounter deck until the sun comes up, and then they'll turn into stone. The other way, of course, is just killing the trolls the old-fashioned way. Let's see what we can do. First things first, though, let's look at these trolls. Look at each one adds 3 threat. Do you see why I didn't want to jump here too quickly? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. We went from 0 to 11 threat in the staging area. We do have our troll purse here, so let's go ahead and attach that to Bert, okay? Because it has to attach to a troll. Each one has wonderful effects. So this Bert troll says players cannot play attachment cards on troll enemies. This is not an attachment that's in the FAQ. This is an objective card, so you can attach the objective card to a troll. That's fine. We can't place attachments on them. It's like we couldn't use traps on them, okay? Forced. After Bert engages a player, sack 1. And you'll see what that is because he's going to engage me. His engagement cost is 23. I have a total threat of 30. They all have a forced ability that you have to return the enemy or the troll to the staging area at the end of the combat phase. The engaged player can raise their threat by 1 to cancel this. They'll all have that, okay? William has troll enemies not engaged with players cannot take damage. And then Tom, troll enemies can only be attacked by 1 character at all times. That means I would have to have one character that can do a total of 12 damage to take out Bert. I can't use all of my dwarfs together. I do have a way to counteract that in this deck. I have a specific dwarf that can get very powerful, but I haven't pulled him out yet. So right now, I'm going to feel like digging through that encounter deck is probably the best idea. Also, we do have the Troll Cave here. Immune to player card effects. Players cannot travel to Troll Cave unless Bilbo Baggins has the Troll Key attached, and the first player spends 5 of his resources, 2 instead if Bilbo has the Troll Purse. Well, the Troll Purse is out here, but we haven't even seen the key, so we can't even travel there. So that stinks. So the one thing that's going to happen now that we've gone through questing, we cannot travel there. So we're going to go ahead and do the encounter phase, and Bert is going to encounter or engage us. Since Bert engaged us, he's going to go ahead and activate the sack cards because he's going to put one of the dwarves in a sack. It's totally perfect. So we're going to flip the top card here. It says, when revealed, attach to the character, excluding Gandalf, with the highest printed willpower without a sack attached. Well, that's going to be Thorin. Poor old Thorin is going to be sacked. Attached to character cannot ready, attack, defend, commit to quest, or trigger effects. If this sack card is removed, shuffle it into the sack deck. Now, it doesn't say you don't get to generate resources, so he'll still get to generate resources, but we're no longer going to be able to use him because he's in a bag. So Bert here is attacking us for 5 points of damage. So I am going to exhaust Dane. Now that means everybody else is weaker, but I'm not going to be able to use people to help us anyways right now. So I'm going to exhaust Dane because he does have 3 armor, and remember, everyone has +1 health thanks to the hardy leadership. So 5, and let's see. The defending character gets -1 shield. Wonderful. So that means he's attacking on 2 shield, so Dane will take 3 glorious points of damage. And I told you my 2 healing cards are already discarded, so this is going to be fun. Looking at the characters that I have left, none of them are going to be able to get through Bert's shields just on their own. So I am going to increase my threat by 1 to keep him engaged with me. Because if I don't, he'll jump back to the staging area and then he'll come and sack another one of my characters over and over again. So what else can I do? So I'm at 31 threat. Now I'm going to end the round and go to 32 threat. We will unexhaust everyone. Poor Thorin is useless, although he still will generate his resources. So we'll get 2 here. We'll get 1 more on Bilbo. So he actually has the 5 that we could get into that troll cave. The problem is we don't have the troll key. We will also draw our 1 card, and we have the Erebor Guard. Well, you guys, the other thing I think I did wrong, it says that the character cannot trigger its effects, so I think Thorin only generates 1 resource, even though there's 5 dwarves, or more than 5 dwarves out, so we'll just get rid of 1, just to be on the safe side. I do think, though, I can still do the King Under the Mountain, so I'm just going to keep it exhausted. I will draw the top 2 cards. Oh yeah, a very good tail. We're going to keep that one because we maybe can get some allies out. So let's discard that. Let's go ahead and activate this right now. So I'm going to exhaust the 2 Arid Loon Miners that I have. Okay, that's my 2 allies. Then I've got to shuffle this deck. Okay. And then I have to draw the top 5 cards. I have a total value of 6 here with Arid Loon Miner because each one is a cost of 3. So I have 6 worth of allies that I can bring out. So let's see. We have the Erebor yes, this is the character that's going to help us. So we're definitely going to put him out. We have the Miner of the Iron Hills. That's a total of 5. We can put him out. We can't put out a sneak attack. Hidden Cache. We're going to discard that and generate 2 resources. Awesome. And this. Okay, sweet. So the 2 resources, let's have that go to Dane. So I've got 4 total leadership resources. I'm going to put out both of these 2 allies. Now, if you look here, the Miner of the Iron Hills, we could discard 1 condition attachment. This sacked bag does not say it counts as a condition, so I don't think we can get rid of that. So we'll just put him out. He's just a 2 attack now. Erebor, though, he gets +1 attack for each other dwarf ally you control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a total of 5 other dwarf allies. 5 plus the 2, 1 because of Dane, that's a total of 7 attack for 1 character. So he's not going to be able to take out Bert all the way on his own, but that's still pretty good. But you know what I'm going to do? He's not going to be the only dwarf I'm going to put out. I'm going to put out another dwarf from my hand. I'm going to put out the Erebor Guard from my hand. Now, this normally costs 4, but when you play Erebor from your hand, discard the top 2 cards of your deck to reduce it by 2. So I have got 2 of Nori's resources, and now I will take my deck and discard the top 2 cards. Okay, Lure of Moria, and a very good tail. Bummer, I lost my 3rd very good tail. That's okay. I did play a dwarf from my hand, so let's go ahead and go down to 31 total threat. Next, because I have a ton of resources, I am going to hard play Gandalf. Use 1 of Nori's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a total of 5 from Dane. That's going to let us play Gandalf. What we're going to do is deal 4 damage to 1 character. Yeah, Bert, you're going to take 4 damage. So 3 and 1. This is going to mean we'll be able to kill him this round. I'm also not going to hedge my bets here. I'm going to go ahead and quest with everybody that I can other than Gandalf and the Erebor Battlemaster. So I'm going to go quest, but he will only have 1. Let's leave Erebor Guard just in case. But Miner of the Hills will have 1. Keeley will have 2, so that's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to leave you out 9. Wow, that's actually not that much. Oh, I was hoping it was more than that. You know what? We're going to add the Erebor Guard. So we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, and there's what in the staging area? 3, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 in the staging area. We're questing for a total of 10. Whew. Okay. 10 to 8. We will draw the top card, and we have Lowlands. We have seen this before. We know what this does. It adds 2 threat. That makes us even, 10 to 10. Okay, no increase, and no additional cards discarded from play. I do think that means we're going to go ahead and travel to the Lone Lands. Yeah, to get it out of the staging area. I think that's a good idea. Our total threat is still under 33, and that's the next troll that would engage us, so we don't have to do anything in the encounter phase. Bert's going to attack. We are now going to use Gandalf to defend. That's the whole reason why I have him here. So, let's see. We'll flip this. Resolve this when revealed effect. When revealed, discard all of Bilbo's resources. Darn it. So he just lost all of these. I've been building them up. That really, really stinks. Okay. That means Gandalf takes only 1 point of damage. 4 armor is insane. But now we can attack. So Bert has 10 health with 2 shield, but he only has 4 damage. So he needs a total of 6 damage left and 2 armor. So I need to do 8 points of damage. If I count this right, Erebor has 2 on its own. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage. Boom. See ya, Bert. That is 1 troll done. Then we can go ahead and collect the troll purse. No, we can't, because we just lost all of our resources. So this is going to attach to the next troll, which will be William. No, and that's actually it's going to be Tom. Tom has 33, so I'm going to have it attached to him. Bummer, I can't believe it. I was going to grab that, and I couldn't even grab the troll purse. With that, I think we're going to end the round, which means we have to discard Gandalf. No, stay, Gandalf, stay. We'll put our threat up to 32. We'll refresh. I really, really need to find a way to unsack Thorin. It would be so nice to have Thorin back, but what can we do? So we used up all of our resources there except for one of Thorin's, and we lost all of Bilbo's. That was an expensive round. Let's go ahead and draw our next card, and we have Bofur.